Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to sort of, I guess, part 2 of my challenge, my recipe challenge for Miranda's My Scrappy Life, our virtual crop for September. So I did a part 1 with the items and choosing supplies that I wanted to use. I did that when I issued the challenge on Saturday. And if you recall, I had some frames out, and that gave me the idea to do a fun shaker element, and therefore to combine it with one of my Spiegelmom scraps projects for this month. So I delayed putting the video up a little bit until today on the 17th. So that I could also post a fun Spiegelmom scraps project using a shaker element, but also using my sequins as a finishing touch. And the sequins I'm using is the Mix Plum Delight, and it's quite iridescent. It's got some gold and plum colors in it, but I find they sort of work very, very well with the supplies that I've used. A little bit of off-white, so it was really, really fun to use this gorgeous mix and create a shaker pocket and still use one of the items from the challenge, because of course, as we remember, it is a this or that. So let's get back to the challenge. So I have the papers, of course, that I wanted to use. This scrap here just as is. And then my original idea was to use sort of a block this way, but I didn't like the way that looked. So I changed my mind and I went with a rectangle in the same shape, but a little bit bigger and longer than this scrap from the Honey and Bee collection. The rest of these papers are, of course, from my Mercy Tiara Sweet Summer Kit. The lovely floral, in the end, I did not use. So, the items we had for the this and that were a this or that. So, portrait photo, which is what I used, or 2 3x4s. An outdoor scrap, an outdoor activity of any kind, a walk, a hike, your garden, a sports activity, anything related to outdoors, which is what I used here, which is a photo of just, my walk, an area of my walk that I take on a regular basis, or a selfie, document yourself, a story about yourself using a selfie. We then had, of course, fussy cutting or die cutting. So I used some fussy cut elements. I had these here from a Vicky Bouton paper, a couple of these items from Vicky Bouton as well, some items from the paper snips and Bramble Fox that I got last year sometime. So I did use fussy cutting, so you can see some fussy cut elements here and here and here, and these lovely leaves, as well as this little flower. So I used fussy cutting. Then stickers or die cuts. So I sort of used both. I have a die cut here, pre-made die cut. So I have a die cut here, and I have one here, but I'm going to use this semi-cheating, and you heard me talk about this when I chose my supplies for another item, but this is definitely a pre-made die cut. But I also used stickers because I used a puffy, a foam sticker here from the Sweet Summer Kit for the word observations. Now that I look at this, I realize that I'm grammatically incorrect. If I wanted to be grammatically correct, it should be observations today, as opposed to today observations, because it would be today's observations. Anyway, we're going with it. So this is going to be my title, and this is just going to be sort of like either a subtitle or maybe even a little bit of journaling. Then we had acrylic or chipboard, and I used both because I mentioned to you when we chose our items that I might use both, and I used this fun chipboard frame as well as this Bramble Fox acrylic piece. And I love chipboard frames to create quick and easy shaker elements, and that is what I did here, because basically you take your acetate, put it here on the back, take a backing, either cardstock, which is what I did here. I just used a little bit of a scrap that I had of my whipped cream cardstock, or pattern paper, and do it just the teensiest little bit smaller than the frame. Put your adhesive and get your sequins in there, and as I mentioned, I used Plum Delight, and I just love this. Is another way to use those frames. Of course, we often use them just with pattern paper, or sometimes to highlight an area on a photo, but I really do love them for some very, very easy shaker pockets. And we'll likely be doing a little bit of a series over on the Spiegelmom Scraps YouTube channel of creating elements and small tutorials of creating elements with sequins. So got that. So I did use chipboard and I did use acrylic. Then I had border punches or border strips. I have this border punch out. I did not use it. I am using this as a border strip because to me, I mean, obviously it's definitely much shorter, but it is the mood and feel or the philosophy of a border strip. So this is my page, my challenge. I'm using it. So you can cheat too, as much as you want. So there you go, my friends. So once again, so fussy cutting for me here as opposed to die cutting. Landscape, portrait-oriented photo as opposed to 2 3x4 photos. Outdoor activity as opposed to selfie. But I did do both acrylic and chipboard. It could be or. Border punch or strips. I used the strip. And stickers or die cut, pre-made die cut. I used a pre-made die cut, but I'm counting this as a sticker. So there you go. Thanks so much for joining me. And I will see you back here very, very soon. I'll again have all of the information down below for Miranda's Facebook group. And of course, I will have the information for Spiegelmom Scraps, including my affiliate link if you want to go and get yourself a few mixes. Don't forget to use my code, Moira, M-O-I-R-A 15. See you soon. Bye for now.